What's up? It's Matt Plapp. We are live with the first ever America's Best Restaurants Live. We're going to be doing this every Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern, and we're going to start it off to tell the story. So you can see on the screen, it's got the countdown, what we're going to do. This vision came from last week and the week before that, honestly, of so many employees applying for jobs and restaurants applying to be featured, and then current clients of our marketing firm calling to find out, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? I see you in different cities. I see a van on the East Coast, a van on the West Coast. What's America's Best Restaurants all about? Why are you doing it? What do you hope to achieve? So to give you the big picture, we're going to talk about the mission here, and then we're going to go to the episode of the week next. Then I've got one of our clients, Steve from Cosmic Cowboy on the West Coast. Then we're going to go to Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is what we call van number one. My man Luis is live in Louisville, Kentucky. And then we got a couple other things planned for you. So we're going to do this every week. The goal is to go from 30 minutes to an hour every week so you can understand what we're doing, why we're doing it, and maybe get involved in some capacity. So America's Best Restaurants was built to help independent restaurants get the attention they deserve online, but get the exact attention they deserve online. And what do I mean by that? Well, back in 2018, I was speaking at food shows for my first book, Don't 86 Your Restaurant Sales. And I kept talking about the same thing, was that restaurants don't control the narrative, that websites like Google and Yelp allow outside input. And I mean by reviews, I mean pictures, I mean, check-ins with weird stuff on. I mean, there's a lot of things out there that you don't control. And if you're a restaurant, if you're an independent restaurant, you need all the help you can get. And a lot of these sites aren't giving you the proper help and aren't giving the consumers a good description of where you're at and what you do and why you do it. And on the other end, there's not a place for consumers to go to find America's Best Restaurants. So we created americasbestrestaurants.com. It's a live site. We've done about 500 shoots so far. We're filming today in Louisville, Kentucky. We were in Columbus earlier this week. We also have the West Coast van, which is off for a couple weeks for Christmas. But starting next year, we're on a path to get 4 more vans, up to 50 within 5 to 7 years, basically one in every state, to help consumers find an independent restaurant near them that they need to be eating at weekly. And so the concept of it is helping independent restaurants get their story out, because America's Best Restaurants, ABR, also stands for attract, build, and retain. That as a restaurant, you need to attract attention of the people who should know, like, and trust you. You need to build a database of the consumers who want to eat your food on the frequent. And you need to retain their attention, because this little device, this billboard in our pocket, has a tendency to take us in all directions, whether it's on the gram, on Facebook, on Snapchat, whatever. So our concept is simple. We want to help consumers find the restaurants they need to eat at on the frequent. We want to help restaurants get the attention of consumers who should be eating there more often. And we want to help restaurants tell a story that is theirs. Why they got in the business, why they're doing it every day, because it's a grind, people. You got a 9 to 5 like me. I've got a full-time gig. Obviously, I'm around the clock all the time. But, at the end of the day, most of our clients quit calling us at 5. It's easier. We can have some nights off. We have the weekends. Restaurants don't have it. And during the pandemic, the last couple of years, the restaurants got just the unfair shake from every aspect. The pandemic, closures, employment. We need to help independents not survive, but thrive. And that's our vision, because the other part of our company is Restaurant Marketing That Works, is the #1 restaurant marketing company in the country for helping restaurants acquire the attention of consumers and then bring them back over and over. So I want to start doing this every week, because we're going to start highlighting what we're doing, showing you an episode, letting you hear from employees on the team, letting you hear from places we visited, letting you hear stories of restaurant owners that we've talked to. And in my fashion, I'm a sports guy. I grew up with SportsCenter, ESPN. We might have to go plays of the week. That's it. Just came up with that. David, who our producer is listening, plates of the week. Plates of the week. And we could have the top 10 places maybe we visit, the cool food items. I don't know. Just spitballing out there with you. But also, I wanted to do this too, so a lot of people that are contacting us about being involved have said, Matt, who owns America's Best Restaurants? Who's funding it? Well, Matt Plapp's funding it. Our restaurant division, our marketing division's funding it. And some of the visits that are having a chance to buy really cool media packages are helping fund it too, because it's not a cheap venture. It's a 7-figure investment next year to make this magic happen. And we're not looking for investors, but we're not opposed to it. But we are looking for all types of employees. My vision is to launch a 3rd van in the spring, somewhere in the Arizona or Florida markets. And then after that, the other one. So if we do Arizona and let's say April, we're going to do June, July, we're going to do Florida. And then the next one is going to be somewhere in that Tennessee, Georgia area. And then up north, Minnesota, Michigan, Illinois. My vision is to have a van in every market, every state of the country, including Hawaii. I can't wait to go visit that one, and even Alaska. But we're looking for talent, people that can have conversations with restaurants to tell them our vision and why we want to come out. And they can see there's not strings attached, there's opportunity. And that employees who can help shoot the footage and who can go help the restaurants tell their story on camera. And you know what? Sometimes you get to taste some amazing food, so that doesn't go wrong there either. So that's the mission of America's Best Restaurants, helping consumers find the food they should be consuming on the weekly and helping those independent restaurants get in the phones of those consumers, whether it's email, text, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Google, wherever we can get attention, those people need to know about you. So without further ado, we're going to get rocking. We're going to go to our next segment. This week, we're going to feature an episode of the week. David, let's check it out.
Hey, what's up, everybody at America's Best Restaurants? It's Luis again, back with another episode of the places you need to eat at on a weekly basis. So every week we travel the country coast to coast, and today we're in Louisville, Kentucky at a restaurant called FDKY Barbecue. We're here with Torch. So Torch, tell me, how did you get in the restaurant industry?
All right, so back when I was a teenager, I was just looking for a high school job. I walked into this place called Firehouse Barbecue.
Okay.
I was currently washing dishes for a catering company. So I asked the owner, I said, hey, you guys hiring for dishwashers? I was looking for a second job. Mm-hmm. And, Bruce, who's now my partner at the time, he said, no, we don't need anybody.
Okay.
Right? So I started to walk out. And then he comes back from the back. He goes, hey, is your name Scott? Which is my actual name. I said, it sure is. He goes, actually, I think I do have a job for you. It turns out one of my old scoutmasters was there dropping some pork off, some raw meat to Bruce, and told him, hey, you should hire that guy, that kid. He's a good worker.
Okay. Right?
So I get in there. I started, I burned a few things. The bark was extra black, we'll say, right? But I ended up falling in love with it, and that's how, I've been doing this ever since, pretty much.
Okay, so is that where the name Torch comes from?
Yes.
You torch things up?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's cool. All right, so in every episode, we feature 3 things you need to have when you come here. What are we having, Torch?
We're gonna do the pork, the smoked chicken, and the smokehouse burger.
Awesome.
Can't beat them.
Awesome, love it. All right, well, I know you're hungry because you're watching this, so why don't you come with me and Torch? Let's torch it up. Let's go. All right, everybody, we are back with the 3 things you need to have when you come here to FDKY. But before we get to that, can you tell me a little bit of the story about how FDKY came to be?
All right, so my business partner, Bruce, and I, like I said earlier, we were doing Firehouse Barbecue together. He ended up being in a bad business partnership. He got out of that. I went and did accounting for a few years. Hated it, wanted to jump off a bridge. So I called him up. I said, hey, let's ride down the lake. We go down the lake. I said, what do you think about getting into barbecue again? He goes, oh, you got to be kidding me. I said, come on, let's go do it. So he came along. He's a creative one. He did all the decorating in here that you see. And I'm the guy behind the scenes, Wizard of Oz, if you will, making the food in the back. So we opened up in 2013. We wanted to go back to the original concept of you know, barbecue with a firehouse theme because of his grandfather's teaching him and him teaching me.
Okay.
And just, you know, we want to honor the firemen and what they do
cool.
for the community, obviously. So that's how we're here.
Nice, nice. Alrighty, so when it comes to the food, we got a kind of a spread here. You got some sauces here. So Torch, starting with this one, tell me, what do we have?
All right, over there we got our pulled chicken.
Okay.
We've just dressed it with a little jalapenos and fire sauce because you got to get the heat.
Nice.
And then we got our grandma style green beans. We'll say they are anything but healthy.
But they're delicious.
We got some bacon grease and some ham and onion in there, and then our mac and cheese over there to accompany that.
Okay. Then here?
That's our new smoked steak burger.
Okay.
All right, and what we do, we dry rub that, we smoke it, and then we dress it with all the fixings. It's our newest item, but we're really happy with it, very proud of it.
Good. And then here?
This is your traditional pulled pork plate. You know, for me, I gotta do pickles and onions on mine. And then we also do baked beans. Or baked beans, you're either gonna find some rib meat or some brisket meat in it normally. And then we're gonna smoke those. And then a traditional yellow mustard potato salad.
Okay. And then now tell me about the sauces and the pickles here.
All right, so let's start with the pickles here. We do a sweet and spicy pickle. You know, to me, I mean, if you're gonna do sweet, you gotta have the heat to counteract it, make it delicious. And then our original sauce here is the Kentucky Sweet. That's more of a sweet and mild sauce.
Okay.
The Chicago Fire is, you know, got a little bit of a kick.
Okay.
And then our signature sauce here, we're in Kentucky. You got to put bourbon in barbecue sauce.
Nice.
I mean, what are you doing if you're not using bourbon?
Right.
Right? So, and if you're gonna do bourbon, you gotta use the best. We did Woodford.
Okay.
It gives that sauce a nice smoky flavor. I mean, you think about how bourbon's made. It's cured in oak barrel, right? Charred oak barrel.
Yeah.
Goes with the smokiness of the barbecue. Just really, really kills it on top.
Nice. And you can buy these here, right?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
We're also in the buy local section of all the Kentucky Krogers as well.
Okay.
So you go to a little local kiosk there, you can get any of those sauces.
That's pretty cool. Hey, so if you guys are enjoying this type of content, if you want to see more restaurants just like FDKY, make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. That way you know anytime we drop a new episode. Now, Torch, how can people find out more information about you?
They can go to our website. It's fdkybbq.com.
Okay.
All right. They can check us on our Facebook page as well.
Cool.
You're going to get more up-to-date information on the Facebook page. Right. And then obviously Google will bring you right here.
Okay.
So,
all right. Cool. And you can also find a full listing for FDKY Barbecue on americasbestrestaurants.com. Look, if you're traveling, very easy to find. They even have a drive-through, so you have no excuse, okay? If you're local, you gotta come here on a weekly basis, if not multiple times a week. We're gonna go ahead and sign off. I'm hungry. Everybody had me the camera's hungry, so we're gonna see you guys on the next one.
I can attest. Can you hear me there, microphone? Oh, okay. Sorry, I couldn't hear myself. So yeah, I can attest to that episode. That we were hungry behind the camera. I was down there with Luis. Amazing barbecue. So great feature episode. So now we're gonna take a little different angle. We've got Steve from Cosmic Cowboy out on the West Coast. Steve, I wanted to bring you on because number one, you're an independent operator. Number two, you're a restaurant that we've worked with our marketing company and helped you do some things. So tell us about your restaurant and about your journey to start off.
Cosmic Cowboy Grill is a fast casual. We specialize in serving chef quality food in about 10 minutes for less time and less money than our competitors. And we've been in business going on 5 years. I was a corporate guy for years and years in Austin, Texas, and we got tired of that rat race and we moved to beautiful North Idaho. It is snowing like the Dickens outside my window right now. And we'll definitely have a white Christmas, but wanted to get involved with a business that could serve the community. And the food scene in North Idaho is missing good chef-driven healthy, clean eating. And so we opened a restaurant to provide that.
I love it. So I met you through David Scott Peters, and one of our missions, and with this broadcast, I wanted to really talk about too, the other side of our business is helping restaurants find customers. Because like you said, you came from corporate America, and some of these corporate restaurants, the chains, the franchises have more things at their disposal from a standpoint of people that can help them get butts in the seats, get people through the doors. You came on board with us not too long ago, I guess 6-8 months ago, probably. What was the motivator behind you hiring a company like ours to help you find customers and bring people in?
You guys solve a couple of problems for me. Number one, I really don't like the trust me school of marketing sales. Oh, it'll work. Trust me. You're just not doing enough. Trust me. Your system is highly measurable. Really the first measurable marketing system that I've been able to plug into my restaurant. And then secondly, your system is designed to invite the guests back multiple times. It gives me the opportunity to turn them into a regular customer. The stats are, after the second time, maybe you got a 50-50 chance. By the time you've seen someone 3 or 4 times, you've got a better than fighting chance of seeing them as a regular customer in the store. So that really spoke to me that your system was designed from the beginning to do those things.
Yeah, and you're the type of restaurant that we aim to help, because consumers don't see the behind the scenes stuff. They just know that they're hungry. They know they want Cosmic Cowboy more often. It's like I told a restaurant the other day, I'm like, yeah, there's a trackable, measurable part where we can see people comment, they engage, they click, they like, they share, they give us data, they walk in the restaurant. But at the end of the day, when guys like Steve put a great food product, a great environment, a great customer service in front of consumers, and they see Cosmic Cowboy 50 times a year somewhere versus 10 times, it's going to drive them into the restaurant because of the product you've put out there. What have been a couple highlights from guys that are working with us, or even other marketing things you've done that other restaurants should be doing?
Well, we've never been good about harvesting customer data. We have a loyalty program that we play around with, but don't really know how to pull the strings on that. We did our first real customer data test just about a week and a half ago when we ran a gift card promotion, and you guys pushed that out to the sizable database that you've built for us at both stores. And we sold $15,000 worth of gift cards in about 4 days.
Wow. Was there a metric? What were you expecting?
It was a shot in the dark. I was hoping that being able to dangle that in front of customers would be useful, but I didn't know. I wanted to give it a try, and it exceeded my expectations.
That's awesome. Now, we appreciate that. That's cool to see that success, because I've been a small business owner. I own a couple now. I've owned them for a couple for the last 20 plus years, and it's tough when you're trying to find people to come support your mission. But at the end of the day, it's data. That the more data you have, the more people's name, phone number, email, Facebook, Instagram attention you have of people who know, like, and trust Cosmic Cowboy. It's like you said, you're eliminating the hope and pray. Hey, we want to reach out to this specific segment of people with something that should resonate with them, and hopefully they support us, and they have. So, Steve, how can they find out more about Cosmic Cowboy, and what are the 2 locations located?
Our 2 stores are in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and then in downtown Spokane, Washington. Those two stores are about 30 miles apart. You can go to our website, cosmiccowboy.com, and we have an active presence on Facebook and Instagram.
I love it. Well, we appreciate your business. I look forward to being out there. I actually spoke with Ryan, who runs the Idaho van right now. He said he got like 5 inches of snow, but we're going to, Doug and myself, going to be out there 1 week each on the West Coast in January, February, and March. So we will definitely be in Coeur d'Alene and at the other location, having some amazing food and getting to talk to you in person and finally meet you in person.
I can't wait to serve you our brand new flagship burger that just goes out tomorrow on our new menu.
Cool. Can't wait. Well, perfect. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for tuning in. We are off next to my man, Luis, who is live in Louisville, Kentucky with Obi-Wan Kenobi, our first van. Luis, are you out there?
Yeah, but I think I'm muted.
No, I can hear you.
Can you
You're
hear
good,
me?
brother.
Okay, cool.
Yes, sir.
Cool. I'm doing
So where are
good.
you guys
We're
at?
actually driving right now. So we're actually driving right now to the next location. So I don't know how the quality is of the video, but we are driving to our next restaurant. We just left one. We're driving to another one right now.
Cool. Tell me about today. You guys are in Louisville, Kentucky. And if for some people out there, it can be Louisville or Louisville. How do you say it first?
Louisville.
Okay, so
That's
Louisville,
technically the
page.
correct pronunciation.
Okay, so tell me, what restaurants have you been to today? What's something that stuck out in your mind today? What is a great dish that you had that was certified legit?
Okay, so we went this morning to a restaurant called the Hungry Pelican. Really big restaurant. They're huge on seafood. So if you love seafood, that place is awesome. I mean, they had scallops, they had oysters, they had shrimp, they had everything. It was amazing. And they have this seasoning that they call the dust. And they make their own onion rings. So they bread them by hand. Okay. You've had Funyuns before, right?
Oh yeah, I've had Funyuns.
Okay. So imagine a freshly made Funyun. That's what these things taste like. Unbelievable.
Damn.
It's hard to explain. But it's that dust seasoning that they have. And I tried it. I'm like, what is this? And I kept eating it. I'm like, that's what it is. They literally taste as if you were having a fresh Funyun. There's really no other way for me to explain it. That was pretty awesome. So that was great. We went also to a restaurant called Mama's Mustard, Pickles, and Barbecue. That was really cool. Something that stuck out to me there was that their wings. They make thousands of wings. I mean, now with the football season starting and everything, with the big event coming up, they'll sell 10,000 wings in a week easily. I mean, wow. they do more than, I mean, it was insane. And their wings are amazing. Another outstanding thing that they have is they made a meatloaf grilled cheese. That was pretty damn good.
Meatloaf grilled cheese.
That was pretty damn good. So that's just a couple of the places. Yeah.
Yeah. So Luis, you're a food lover. You would consider a foodie more than anybody on our staff. And you've got your saying certified legit, which Doug's hijacking because our next segment is called Certified Legit because he's meeting with a certified legit restaurant we visited, Mr. George. But talk about how this has been fun for you because you're a foodie and you've probably visited more restaurants in the past 6 months than you have your entire life, I would imagine, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is super fun for me because yes, I am a foodie. I love walking into restaurants. I love being underestimated because when we walk in, of course, people don't know who we are. So naturally, people are a little bit apprehensive and they think that we're just coming in there and shooting a video about food. And partly is part of that, but I also want to get the story behind it. And I excel at connecting with people when it comes to the restaurant industry. And it's really funny. I'll tell you a short story. So yesterday we went to a restaurant and in the morning, I mentioned the guy's name and he says, so his name is John. And I said, hey, John. He said, Chef John. I'm like, okay, got it. So then I walk in and I say, hey, chef, are you classically trained? And he says, yes. So then all of a sudden I start, we take this path. By the end of the episode that we've been there 60 minutes, we're best friends. The guy tells me, whenever you guys are back in town, you got to come back. You got to come hang out. I said, great. So then when we were done yesterday, I told Austin, I said, you know what? We're going back to that restaurant. I'm going to call the chef right now and we're going to go hang out. So I call him and I said, hey, chef, just want to let you know we're done. We want to come hang out. So, you guys got to come. We got there at about 7 o'clock, 7:15. We were there till midnight last night. Just damn. Yeah. And I went to sleep at 1:30 in the morning.
What restaurant is it?
Enjoyed thoroughly. It's called Chef's Cut Pizzeria.
Ooh.
Yeah, okay. He's a classically trained chef, but he was talking about how he trains his employees and everything. We just had an incredible conversation from 7:15 at night till midnight. And I could have gone for hours because that was amazing. So, those are things that I can't get if I'm behind the desk.
Yep. And that's something too you hit on, Luis. It's actually probably the toughest part for me is that I've met so many people, so many restaurateurs, so many small business owners that are on the same path we are. They're building something special. They're putting their blood, sweat, and tears. The toughest part is I don't get to see them again that often. I mean, like, for example, the Connie and Jim from Basilio's up in Faribault, Minnesota. We hung out with them. Me and Doug did last year on Labor Day, and it sucks. I'm like, I want to see them more often, but like, you getting to get involved with these restaurants and hear their stories and become friends. It's tough because you meet them and it's like, okay, I'm going to get to see them maybe once or twice every year or two because we're seeing hundreds of restaurants. So the stories of how these operators are doing things is pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were up to the point yesterday that the chef told me, because he knows I'm into cooking and I take cooking pretty seriously when I'm doing it. And he told me, you and I are gonna cook. He said, next time that you're in Louisville, let me know. We're gonna get some different meats and things, and I want to cook with you. I'm like, that would be awesome. That's exciting for me, you know. But again, I don't get to do that if I'm behind the desk. So this is really fun. Not that there's anything wrong to being behind the desk. Of course, you know, downtime is cool and doing office stuff. But it's fun to meet these restaurateurs, to hear their stories, to cover the food, you know, and just to see the passion behind it. It's awesome.
Well, cool. Well, we love it. Get back on the road. You guys keep going. Get safe with there. Have fun. I will see you here tomorrow when you get here tomorrow afternoon. We got the company Christmas party this weekend. So up next, I got my man to my left is going to walk over here, steal the mic, steal the headphones. I got Mr. Doug Smith, or as a lot of clients for some reason like to call him Doe, because I guess it's just a weird typo. So Doug, you're on. You've got to talk to somebody. I'll give you the mic and give you the headphones.
Sounds good. Gibin, my man. You know what? Doing well. Hey, real quick, Gibin is the owner of Denalis, as you can see, down in Louisville. Seems to be a Louisville focus here today. And you and I chatted. We shot your episode maybe about a month and a half ago. If you would, just give a quick summary about Denalis, because I got a couple questions I want to ask you. You're doing some things different, but give the backstory real quick on how you came about to own Denalis and what is it?
All right. So Denalis Diner has been part of Louisville since the 1960s. It used to be a family-owned business for come towards the middle of 2010s and all, so the family stepped out, and at that point I was owning another old school American diner here in Louisville called Twig and Leaf. So as I was stepping out of there, a lot of gentlemen, a lot of customers that used to come to Denalis that started coming to Twig because Denalis was shut down were like, hey, there's this amazing place, you should really check it out. So we came through and we checked out the place, and 4 years later, here we are. Like, it's been an interesting journey, and it's been one to remember.
Now, Denalis itself was originally started in the 40s, correct?
Yes. So there has been different versions of this, but the ones that I own, this one, it's been here since the 60s. So this one, 50 years family owned, and then for us about 4 years.
Okay, there are two things that really stood out to me when we shot your episode. Number one, you're a diner. It looks like, you know, it's a 40s diner, and someone would walk in and think it's only going to be burgers and fries, but you changed up the menu, which a lot of people may look at as kind of risky. You're not just burgers and fries. You added more ethnic type of a menu. Talk about the thought process and how that was received when someone walks in and they may not expect what they're going to get, and the menu's completely different.
So, let's start with this. So you walk into Denalis. Anyone who's seen your episode, which was great, by the way, thank you so much. But like when you walk into the diner, you basically, it's an old school, original structure American diner. So I tell people all the time, what we really provide people is a nostalgia. It's how things used to be, right? So they come in, they look at the menu, and they're like, wow, like diner food. And then, like you mentioned, they go on to the multi-ethnic specials. The reason why we jumped into that was, like, we have created a community platform where, like, people ranging from 18, and as I told you before, my oldest customer is 89-year-old Jerry. So they have come together. Like, I get so many different parts of people, like there were so many different kinds of people. So that's where the multi-ethnic special came in, because we wanted to provide a place where people can come for lunch, breakfast, whatever they desire. So we incorporated the multi-ethnic special. So we do Italian, we do some Indian dishes, a couple of Mediterranean, and we definitely do a Russian dish, which is called macaroni pavlovsky.
What kind of feedback did you get when that change came about? Was that an immediate menu change when you took over? Or was it gradual? Because again, I think there's a lot of restaurant owners and business owners, they would be scared to death to make any kind of a change. They live by the mantra, it's always been this way, I don't want to change. What kind of feedback did you get from it?
So when I took over, I definitely added, it came with me. The multi-ethnic idea came with me. And one of the reasons why I wasn't too worried about it was because I was keeping most of the original items, like what people expect in an old school diner. At the same time, I was like, I want to like try it out. So it was really a experimental addition to the menu to see if people would actually like it. And it was surprising. Like, of course, like people love the diner food, but the multi-ethnic specials became a thing too. Like, my perfect example would be like, we make the dish, the chicken curry rice, right? And most people eat it for lunch or dinner. I've had people come to Louisville from E-Town, which is 45 minutes away, at 8 o'clock in the morning and ask me to make chicken curry rice, because we do our multi-ethnic specials now all day long. So that in itself gave me an idea that how much people liked it. And people who are so adamant on eating the special, the menu itself is so like big, but like they are so adamant on eating the exact same thing. And so the specials was a great add-on, especially for people who were trying to like get different kinds of food. So it definitely was a great add-on, and it's thoroughly been accepted by all our customers and clients.
The second thing that I wanted to get your input on was the fact that I believe you have an omelet that is named after one of your regulars. And as we know, frequent customers are what help restaurants succeed. New customers are nice, but you want frequent customers. While we were there doing the shoot, there were several people that, oh man, I'm here 3 days a week, I'm here 4 days a week. But you almost immortalized one of your regulars by putting them on the menu. Talk about that and how that was received, that he's not just a customer, you know, the dude is now like living on the menu.
So when I took over this restaurant, I met a lot of people, and some people came regularly, some people didn't. One of the first people I met, his name is Jerry. And so Jerry is 89 years old, and he's been coming here since this restaurant was found. And he comes in, he gets the exact same thing. It's called the Jerry's omelet. And it's so weird because, like I said, what we try to build is a community platform. Like, the food is homemade food. It's great food, but what we really built is the nostalgia, the comfort of being around people in the community. So this is how well accepted it became. Jerry, I recently hurt his ankle. So he wasn't here for a while, and a lot of people were asking about it. And one of the things that people really started doing was ordering the Jerry's omelet. Now, like, you have to understand, it's an omelet. Like, it's, at the end of the day, it is just a 3-egg omelet with his specific needs. But just because Jerry wasn't coming in because he hurt his ankle, I can tell you on a weekly basis, I was selling about 15 to 20 of Jerry omelet. And literally, like, it started getting called Jerry's omelet, and that's what we stuck with. Like, and it's funny you mentioned that, because he just started walking again. He was back in yesterday, and I told him about the whole episode and everything. He was like, "You better have mentioned me, because I'm one of the most loyal customers." And you said it right. Like, during COVID, the whole COVID-19 situation, we never shut down, other than the mandate when dine-in was closed and we had to do to-go. That was because of our loyal customers. It's because of people who have been coming here. I have people who come twice a day. I have people who come six times a week. And these customers is the reason why we are who we are.
That's awesome. I love that. I've told a lot of the restaurant owners who we have visited, and we visited, you know, hundreds since you and I even had a chance to chat, your example of the menu and then Jerry's omelet. how can people find you? As we say in the episode, Louisville has a lot of stuff going on. So how can someone watching this episode find you and come maybe enjoy Jerry's omelet on their own?
One, you can definitely find us on America's Best Restaurants. So that's where the first place is that you can find us on. Second and foremost, we have our website. It's called Denalis.com. We are thoroughly active on Instagram and Facebook. And with the changing times, you can pretty much at this time like get food to go. Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash. We're on pretty much all platforms.
Excellent. One final question for you. If a restaurateur is watching this and they have an opportunity to be a part of our show, what would you tell them? What was the experience like with us being on site?
So, as I mentioned, 50 years, family-owned business. We've been running 4 years nonstop, never closed down. And we still have a lot of people that come in on the regular and they're like, we didn't know that this place was here. We didn't know you guys were back open. The best example of why a restaurateur should definitely be part of America's Best Restaurant is the episode that premiered yesterday. Today, it's just one day after the episode was premiered, I had about 15 to 20 people who came in and they were like, hey, so we saw it on Facebook. And through that, we went on America's Best Restaurant and we saw your whole episode and we really wanted to give you guys a try. We didn't even know this place was here. So as far as being able to get in touch with the community out there, to be able to increase your clientele, this platform made a huge difference. And that's coming from a guy who's done live radio shows, live TV shows. This is something you can measure. This is something you can see. So if you get the opportunity to be on the show, you should definitely be on the show.
Gibin George, owner of Denalis in Louisville. And I made sure I said Louisville correctly because you made sure I said it when we were on video. We appreciate it. Thank you. And my next trip down in Louisville, I look forward to seeing you in person. Thank you so much. Thanks, Gibin.
There we go, people. You heard it right there. Now, I'll say this, full disclosure. I don't expect a lot of notoriety from consumers yet. We're just new. This is a 7th, 8th month project right now. When we get 18 months in, it's going to be dangerous because you look at it, our vans, each van is about 1,500 episodes a year at capacity. And 1,500 episodes a year. And let's say this time next year, hopefully there's 6 vans on the road. That's a lot of episodes. And that also each 6 vans represents about 300,000 online pieces of content. Now you extrapolate that out, big word for me. You extrapolate that out over 5 years and 50 vans, we will own the attention of consumers online like never before. So I'm stoked. So let's go ahead and look real quick at America's Best Restaurants. Let's look at the website. I want to give you a quick little tour. If David can make me smaller, get the screen bigger. So if you're a consumer, right now, different states we're debuting in. Right now, we're a lot of Kentucky. We've got Ohio. We've got Indiana. We've got North Carolina, South Carolina. David, go to Kentucky since we had 2 Louisville people on today. And what we're doing is we're slowly segmenting these restaurants in there from the states. And you can see the featured listings of the restaurants we've visited. You can see their information. You can see their episodes. So let's hit Hebron Grill up at the very top of the screen there, David. And you'll see what a listing looks like. And you'll notice a couple things in here that we're not doing reviews. We're letting the restaurant tell the narrative because we're doing the work behind the scenes to find out who should or shouldn't be on here. Now, am I saying that we're going to be perfect and we're not going to miss here and there and maybe have a restaurant that you don't agree with completely? No, not really. That's going to probably happen. But I also know that a lot of us, including me, consumers can be a little too picky. And what we aim to do is find restaurants that we know, Matt Plapp, Doug Smith, Luis Rivera, Austin Turner, the Ryan Likes, the whole team. I don't want to mention everybody. There's a lot of us behind the scenes. We're identifying restaurants that we would eat at weekly, and that's what we're going to visit. So that's the concept of what we're doing. If you've got restaurants you're interested in seeing, let us know on social media, Facebook, Instagram, hit us up, TikTok. If you're a restaurant that's interested, it's pretty simple. It's free. There's no charge what we're doing here. Yes, there are opportunities. Like somebody said, is there strings attached? There's not strings. There's opportunities. So if you go to the top of the page, you'll see a Get Featured button. You click that Get Featured button. It will take you there, and it will tell you our story, what we're hoping to do with America's Best Restaurants. There's also a form on there that you can fill out to be featured. It comes to us right now. Van number 1, Obi-Wan Kenobi, which you saw that Luis was on, travels Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio region every month for the next year. There are wild card weeks where we are at the end of each month hitting a different city within 4 to 6 hours. Like, for example, we've got Detroit on the list. We've got Chi-Town, Chicago, where my dad's from. We've got Nashville. We've got Knoxville. We've got a lot of places. I think we were hitting Atlanta maybe at one point. But we also hit Lexington, Louisville, Northern Kentucky, Cincinnati, Dayton, Columbus, Indianapolis, and everywhere in between on the daily every month. The van number 2, which Ryan Howell operates out on the West Coast, is in Idaho as we speak, and it hits that whole Idaho, Utah, Montana area, Nevada, and it'll keep going. And what we're looking for are restaurants that fit the bill, that can come on, be featured, get a conversation going with us, let the consumers know they're out there. And yeah, there are marketing opportunities. These aren't, oh my gosh, we got you. As you can ask anybody we've featured, it's, hey, if you want some footage for your restaurant that's pretty badass, that's shot on 4K, that can be awesome for you to use on social or your website, we've got it. You can buy a marketing package. If you want a free trial of marketing services, like Steve from Cosmic Cowboy, he's a client of ours. We put our skin in the game. If we're a restaurant that we visit for America's Best Restaurants, you get to be featured on the site, but you also get a trial of our company. We put money in the game to show you that we know how to help restaurants like nobody ever has done before. And we want to help you all do that as well. So the other avenue is hiring. So as you know, it's a competitive market out there. So if you go to the little sandwich board at the top of the screen, you'll see now hiring, and you'll see a video on it, and you'll walk down there and you can see the different positions we're hiring for. And there's producers, there's hosts, there's video people. And some of these positions have sales, some of them don't, because our marketing company, like I said, pays the bills. And if we're the best choice for restaurants to find customers, and a lot of restaurants are calling us going, hey, forget the interview, I need to be on your platform, that's cool. But we've got a lot of positions on there that we're looking for. And like I said, we're going to have a map pretty soon that lays out where we're hoping to go with regards to the states next. But let me give you a little taste of what it's like to be an employee. So 2022, we rolled out a new benefits package. So we have health insurance, 401k after 1 year. And then we have a pretty cool vacation package. So every 10 weeks, employees have a mandatory 1 week off, paid, because I want you to enjoy life. I want our employees to enjoy the finer things. We don't need to be stuck in a van or on the road or in an office all the time. So every 10 weeks, employees get a mandatory paid week off. That's 5 weeks. They also get 2 weeks of PTO, however they want to use it. Yeah, those every 10 weeks, those are a little flexible. Our vision is that they'll be within a certain realm, but if you need to move it by a week because your husband's on vacation or your wife, whatever, that's cool. So we have those 2 weeks also where you get PTO. So now we're up to 7 weeks. We are also next year closed the week of Thanksgiving, the week of Christmas. Now you're at 9 weeks of paid time off. But wait, there's more. We are also paying $1,000 on one of your vacations, because when you go on that vacation, we're going to give you a form. The one I showed you earlier, I think I showed that on here. Maybe that was a different webinar, that allows us to rank restaurants in 5 or 6 things they're not doing correctly. And so we ask our employees, hey, when you go on this trip, when you go to Gatlinburg, when you go to Charleston, South Carolina, when you go to San Diego, California, go to 2 restaurants a day, 1 to 2 restaurants a day, fill out the form. We'll pay for the meal, and we'll pay for the $1,000 to first $1,000 to get you out there, because we want you to find restaurants that need to be on America's Best Restaurants. And we want you to let us know what you see. That's what we're doing. Oh, but wait, there's even more. If that even makes sense, Doug, more. So we're doing a 3 or 4 day weekend every month. I love Thanksgiving. I love how 4 o'clock on Wednesday, I turn it off and I don't turn it back on to Monday morning. And I want my employees to have that same feeling more often. So we've picked a holiday each month. Now, granted, 2 months we had to pick holidays that weren't really there, because Flag Day was the only day we could find in 1 month. And then National Root Beer Float Day was the only day we could find the next month. But those months, every month, Memorial Day, Martin Luther King Day, Labor Day, we've got a 3 or 4 day weekend sandwiched around there, so that every month, you, the wife, the kids, friends, you got an extra extended little weekend. So we're looking for talent. We're looking for people, and you don't necessarily have to have a lot of experience what we're doing, but you've got to have a passion for helping others. You've got to have a passion for food. And you've got to, maybe if you like traveling, you can travel the country with the vans. Maybe you want to have a van. Brian Howe has a van in Idaho. Maybe you want to have the van in Arizona, the van in Florida, the van in Tennessee. We're looking for people to start planning what we're going to do the next 5 to 7 years. So that's it for America's Best Restaurants Live, the first ever one. This is going to be Thursdays, 5 p.m. is what we're thinking. It might tweak a little, but it looks like Thursday, 5 p.m. We're going to try and come at you every week with the story and the mission, with a visit we've been to recently, with live from the road with the different vans, with a customer of the company, with a restaurant we visited that has a great story. We're going to bring to you the story so that you can see what we're doing. And hopefully, if you're a restaurant, you want to be involved. Hopefully, if you're a person looking for a great career or a path to take, you want to be involved. And also, if you're a consumer looking for restaurants to support, americasbestrestaurants.com is going to be the place you're going to want to find in the future to find those restaurants. I'm signing off. I'm Matt Plapp. That's all I got. We'll see you next Thursday.